All right, we are live. All right, cats and kittens. Today we are going to make delicious, nutritious, never mind, asterisk, chocolate chip cookies. This is my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe. And the first thing we got to start with here is browning some butter. So it's over here. And we're going to brown 2 sticks of butter and getting the European style 82% fat plus is just going to make these that much more delicious. And we'll just get rolling on this real quick. While this is going, let's talk about what else I got over here. I've got 420 grams of all-purpose flour. I usually do a mix of light and dark brown sugar, but I've only got dark brown sugar, so this is going to be interesting. Interesting. See if it does anything different. But this is 200 grams of dark brown sugar, 200 grams of white granulated sugar. I've got a half teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. And then I've got a 6 grams. Can you see if there we go. I got fancy new technology here. I've got 6 grams of salt. I've got 20 milliliters of vanilla extract. And I've got 300 grams of semi-sweet chocolate, the 60% cacao. 200 grams of it are the semi-sweet morsels from Ghirardelli. And the other 100 grams is chopped up bar chocolate from Ghirardelli as well. I find that to be just absolutely scrumptious. All right, let's check this butter real quick. When you're browning butter, you want to keep it moving after it's... Actually, you know what? We're going to go hot and fast on this. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm a semi-amateur home chef. While we're at it, let's grab spatula. All right. Browning butter is a delicate process. If you take it just to the edge of burning, I find that that's where the absolute flavor is, but that's also a tight wire, high wire, tightrope dance. You could seriously just go too far and burn your butter. So if you want to stop when you get to a nice amber color, you can go ahead and do that if you don't want to risk, ruining your butter. How are you guys doing? Doing okay? All right. I'm not talking to the butter. I'm talking to the internet. Both of those are weird, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. All right, now we got all this. It's gonna start foaming. And once you finish foaming, it's gonna start spluttering and popping, and that's why you gotta keep it moving, because if you leave it too long, the water can't escape and it'll explode in your face. See, are you guys seeing this? Butterception. There you go. Now all the little bubbles popping, that's the water evaporating. This is also how you get clarified butter. And then you just live on the wild side by not stirring it. See what happens. There we go. Some of it's going to get up on the sides. You want to scrape that down. Oh, there we go. So now we're turning a nice amber color. You could stop here if you wanted to, but I find that the flavor is better. So I'm going to give this another minute, because once I turn the heat off, it'll continue to cook a little bit. Oh yeah, now it's really getting dark. All right. Nope. Whoop. Heat off. Keep stirring. Keep stirring. Keep stirring. All right. Now we're going to go straight into our wet ingredient bowl. Oh, yeah. So nice. Super dark. Now, some might say it's burnt, but what do they know? The proof is in the pudding, or the cookie, as they say. Now we're going to drop some ice. A couple of chunks of ice into this are good because A, it's going to cool it down, and B, it'll reintroduce some of the, there we go. It'll reintroduce some of the moisture we lost. All right, there we go. And we'll just come back in here and stir this up until the ice melts. And then once this is cooled down, we can start getting into it with the rest of our ingredients. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We are gonna get back to mixing all of our wet ingredients. Right now we've got our butter. It's cooled off enough. Now I'm gonna put all of the sugar in with it. Got our brown sugar here. Just give that a quick stir. And we've got our white sugar. Give that a stir. Mix it all in. Let it dissolve. All right, then we're gonna add, let's add our vanilla first. It's about 1 tablespoon, 20 milliliters of vanilla. Now, if you watch Ethan Chabluski's channel, I don't know if I said his last name right, but he does the Cook Well, and he's got a food channel, and he did a big video on which vanilla is the best, and honestly it came out that I think that it's perfectly okay to just use regular vanilla extract, that the paste was maybe a little bit better, but even just the straight up vanilla bean he couldn't really taste. And I'll be honest, when I do use vanilla bean, I can't really taste it either. It's more of an aesthetic thing if you're making ice cream and you want the little vanilla beans in there. But just using some straight up good quality vanilla extract I think is the best way to go. That's just my opinion, which, you know, God forbid you share your opinion on the internet. All right, then we got 2 large eggs going in. One of the reasons why you want the butter to cool down quite a bit is that it doesn't cook the eggs when you put them in your batter here, or dough, or wet ingredients, or whatever you want to call them. You could beat the eggs separately and then pour them in, but I find that it just doesn't really matter, personally. I've done both. You could also use a stand mixer if you want to, but chocolate chip cookies are super easy and you don't really need it. You can use a good old hand mixer right here, man. All right. That's good and mixed. We'll set this aside. Get on our dry ingredients. We got 420 grams of all-purpose flour. Or perhaps some purpose. Maybe not even no purpose. No purpose flour. That's a little nihilistic. Our salt. And our leavening agents. Half teaspoon baking powder. And a teaspoon of baking soda. Real quick, need another whiskey whisk. And we'll just mix it all up till it's good and mixed from all the mixing. Right? I think that's good enough. Boom. All right. Then we're going to pour our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. Honestly, should have poured the dry ingredients into the wet just because I want to get all of this out now. It's easier to get all the powder out of the bowl than it is to get all the liquid out of the bowl. That was silly. That was silly on my part. Not that it will really matter that much, but you know, this is all the flavor and goodness of the chocolate chip cookie. You don't want to miss out on too much of it. All right, I think that'll work. Set that aside, and then we'll fold everything together. You fold everything together so that you don't develop too much gluten in the flour by mixing the shit out of it. That way your cookies are nice and soft as opposed to chewy. Like, not the good kind of chewy, but like rubbery. So you just kind of keep going around the bowl nice and easy until everything is mixed in and there are no more dry patches. Patches? We don't need no stinking patches. I like to move the spatula and the bowl together in harmony, in unison, at one with the universe. As you can see, the two have become one. All right, once there are no more dry patches, then you can add your chocolate. 300 grams of cacaoian goodness. And then you fold them in until they are well incorporated into your dough. It's a bit of a workout, isn't it? Alright. Oh, I would say that's well incorporated. And then you're going to let it sit. You can either let it sit in the fridge for a long time. Aged cookie dough is pretty good. Or you can just kind of let it sit and it'll firm up. Because you want it to be firm enough to grab a chunk and roll it into a ball. So I will come back once this reaches a level of firmness that I am comfortable with. Alright, boys and girls, cats and kittens, friends and neighbors. It is time. We've let the dough rest for a good amount of time. I don't rest it in the fridge because I like, if it's too cold, it won't spread as much. So if you like a flatter cookie, let it rest at room temperature, or let it come up to room temperature. But if you like a big kind of ball, a crunchy, craggly looking cookie, you can put it in the fridge and leave it uncovered and let it kind of dry out. Anyway, I've got a sheet pan here with some parchment paper on it, and I like to weigh out 90 grams per cookie. That's way too much. That's good. So anywhere between 90, 95, something like that. And I will get about, I'll probably get about 5 cookies per sheet. And this amount of dough yields about 15 cookies. I like a good size cookie. I don't like too small of a cookie. You know, I mean, if you make them smaller, they're kind of, you can get them crunchier or whatever. Not my thing. I like a nice big, slightly crispy, chewy in the middle. You know, the huge classic chocolate chip cookie. All right, so I'm gonna finish rolling these out. Oh, you know what? Since I'm almost done, let's just keep going. We'll do the first tray together, friends and neighbors. Ooh, don't forget to weigh it. That's good. All right, we'll do one more. Now this dough is actually a little bit wetter than my usual dough, so that's interesting. Could be any number of reasons, but we'll see how it goes. All right, I also like to press down on them to make them kind of flat so they spread a little bit better. All right, and these are gonna go, let me wipe my hands off, into a 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Oh, and we'll check back with them in a little bit. All right. Ooh, these guys look freaking great. All right, so I think the issue is so when your dough has more moisture in it, right? We added some ice to that butter. It brought some water back in. When your dough is really soft and moist, it spreads more. I could definitely use a bigger sheet tray here with these size of cookies, but they look great. And once you pull them out of the oven, you hit them with a little flaky sea salt to make them more sophisticated. All right, we're gonna pull these off, let them cool down. I'm gonna get back to rolling cookie dough and finishing up the rest of these, and then we'll come back and we'll try them once they've cooled off. All right. All right, we need some good light for this cookie right here, man. Look how good that looks. Let's go ahead and break it in half. Oh, baby. Oh my God. Yeah, buddy. Crispy on the edges, chewy in the middle. It's exactly how you want a chocolate chip cookie to be. All right, well, hey, thanks for hanging out with me, friends and neighbors. And we'll get you next time with another fun cooking video. Enjoy.